Namaste, angels. This is a daily reading for Thursday, June 14th, beginning with the year 1381, where Richard II in England meets the leaders of the peasants' revolt on black health. The Tower of London is stormed by rebels who enter without resistance. 1645, the Battle of Naseby, Leicestershire. Quote-unquote new model army under Oliver Cromwell and Thomas Fairfax. Thomas means twins. They beat the royalist forces of English King Charles I, which I think is probably a good thing because Charles I and the II and the royalists and the Cavalier, they all sucked. They were all racist jerks that sucked. 1821, Badi VII, King of Sennar, surrenders his throne and realm to Ismail Pasha, general of the Ottoman Empire, bringing the 300-year-old Sudanese kingdom to an end. 1940, Auschwitz concentration camp opens in Nazi-controlled Poland with Polish POWs. Approximately 3 million would die within its walls. 1941, Estonia loses 11,000 inhabitants as a consequence of mass deportations into Siberia. 1982, Argentina surrenders to Great Britain, ending the 74-day Falklands Islands conflict. Well, 1982 equals 83 equals 11, and it's a 74-day conflict equals 1174. Did you know U.S. Continental Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes flag designed by Francis Hopkinson, replacing the Grand Old Flag or the Grand Union flag? This happened on June 14th in the year 1777. Yes, it is Flag Day. Famous birthdays: Harriet Beecher Stowe, Che Guevara, Donald Trump, which is crazy how he could have a birthday on the same day as awesome people. Also Steffi Graf. Would you believe recording of the first country music hit, Little Old Log Cabin in the Lane, happened on June 14th in 1923. Famous weddings: 1541, Duke Willem of Galluc and Galère marries Jean d'Albret. 1871, Impressionist painter Camille Pissarro, 40, weds Julie Vallée in London. 1904, ragtime composer Scott Joplin, 35, weds Freddie Alexander, 19, in Arkansas. 1936, singer and cowboy actor Roy Rogers, 24, weds Arlene Wilkins in Roswell, New Mexico. 1950, American sci-fi writer Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? That's the name of the writing for which he's famous, I imagine. Philip K. Dick is his name. He marries his second wife, Cleo Apostolides. Famous divorces: 1960, actress Lorraine Day, 39, divorces manager Leo DeRocher, 53, due to irreconcilable differences and incompatibility after 12 years of marriage. And 2012, New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton, 48, divorces Beth Shuey due to conflict of personalities after nearly 20 years of marriage. Famous deaths: Benedict Arnold, Pierre Charles L'Enfant, Emmeline Pankhurst, John Logie Bayard, Salvatore Quasimodo, and George Luis Borges. George Luis Borges was Argentinian and a writer. He's famous for Ficciones de Aleph. He was born on August 24th in 1899, which is 999. He was a Virgo from Buenos Aires, Argentina. He died on June 14th in 1986 at the age of 86 of liver cancer. Salvatore Quasimodo was Italian and an author and poet. 1959 Nobel Prize winner in literature for his lyrical poetry, which with classical fire expresses the tragic experience of life in our own times. He was born on August 20th in 1901 and was a Leo from Medici, Italy. He died on June 14th in 1968 at the age of 66. John Logie Bayard was Scottish, an inventor of the television. John Logie Baird spent his early working life as an engineer for an electrical power company in his native Scotland before moving south to set up his own and to build the first television. By 1926, Baird was able to demonstrate to fellow scientists his lab the first true television, and would go on to demonstrate other firsts: a televised display between London and Glasgow in 1927 and between London and New York in 1928. He was also the first to show color on the television. Baird worked with the BBC, where he initially used his television system. However, in 1937, the BBC switched to the Marconi EMI system. He was born on August 14th in 1888 and was a Leo from Helensburgh, Scotland, United Kingdom. He died on June 14th in 1946 at the age of 57 of a stroke. Emmeline Pankhurst was British and a suffragette. Pankhurst was a leader of Britain's suffragette movement who founded the Women's Social and Political Union, the WSPU, in the year 1903. Seeking to enfranchise women, members of this organization gained notoriety through the militant tactics they commonly employed to agitate for women's suffrage. Pankhurst defended these actions on the grounds that, quote, the condition of our sex is so deplorable that it is our duty to break the law in order to call attention to the reasons why we do, end quote. Some degree of success was achieved in 1918 when British women were granted limited suffrage, but it was only in the year of her death in 1928 that women were granted full voting rights. She was born on July 15th in 1858. 1858, of course, 1304, 1111. She was a Cancer from Moss Side, Manchester, England. She died on June 14th in 1928 at the age of 69 of illness, it just says. And of course, 69, a number that looks very much like the symbol of Cancer, which was her zodiac. Pierre Charles L'Enfant was French and a Washington, D.C. architect, also a civil engineer. He was best known for designing the layout of the streets of Washington, D.C., the L'Enfant Plan. He was born on August 2nd in 1754 and was a Leo from Annette, France. He died on June 14th in 1825 at the age of 70. Benedict Arnold, last of the deaths. He was American and a U.S. defector general. A general during the American Revolutionary War, Arnold defected to the British Army and planned to surrender the fortifications at West Point, New York, to the British before his plan was foiled. His name has become a byword for treason and betrayal in the United States. He was born on January 14th in the year 1741 and was a Capricorn from Norwich, Connecticut, USA. He died on June 14th in 1801 at the age of 60. Steffi Graf is German and a tennis player. Graf began her professional tennis career at age 13. She was coached and managed by her father, Peter Graf. She first won the WTA tournament in 1986 and went on to win her first Grand Slam title at the French Open in 1987. In 1988, she achieved a Golden Slam, winning all 4 Grand Slam titles and the Olympic gold medal in Seoul. In total, Graf won 22, master number 22. Grand Slam singles titles, more than any other woman in the Open era. Her run of 186 weeks as the world number 1 has not been beaten. Graf is widely regarded as one of the best ever women's tennis players. Her playing style was marked by her strong forehand and quick footwork. She was born on June 14th in 1969 and is 48 years old, a Gemini from Mannheim, Baden-Württemberg, West Germany. Donald Trump is an asshole. I should leave it there. But let's see what they say about him. Full name Donald John Trump. He's American and the 45th U.S. president, businessman, and a television personality. A Republican in office since January 20th, 2017. He was preceded by Barack Obama. He's famous because he gained notoriety as a real estate developer and a reality television host. He was previously chairman of the Trump Organization and the host of The Apprentice. Long expressing an interest in national politics, he announced his run for president of the United States in 2015. Despite a campaign that courted numerous controversies, he was elected as the Republican presidential candidate in July of 2016. After exceptionally bitter and divisive election campaign, he then went on to beat Hillary Clinton in a huge upset. In doing so, he became one of the 5 presidents to lose the popular vote, but to win the majority of the Electoral College. He is also the oldest person to be elected president at 70 years old. In his first term, Trump issued executive orders to ban travel from certain areas of the world, controversially dismissed FBI Director James Comey, and withdrew the United States from both the Paris Agreement on climate change and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He also unsuccessfully attempted to repeal Obamacare. Actually, I think, ironically, he's fucking with that again today. I'm recording this on June 11th. I think he was scheduled to try to fuck with Obamacare today. Anyway, Trump's presidency has been involved in numerous controversies, including investigations by a special prosecutor into allegations that his campaign colluded with Russian officials. He was born on June 14th in 1946 and is 71 years old, a Gemini from Queens, New York. Che Guevara was Argentinian. His full name was Ernesto Rafael Guevara de la Serna, and he was an Argentinian revolutionary, the poster boy of revolutionaries. He was born on June 14th in 1928 and was a Gemini from Rosario, Santa Fe, Argentina. He died on October 9th in the year 1967. He was only 39 when he was assassinated. And Harriet Beecher Stowe, American, an abolitionist, and an author. Her most famous work, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was a depiction of life for African Americans under slavery and became influential in the United States. It energized anti-slavery forces in the American North while provoking widespread anger in the South. She was born on June 14th in 1811, or 9/11, which is 11, and was a Gemini from Litchfield, Connecticut, USA. She died on July 1st in the year 1896 at the age of 85, and she was the last of the birthdays for this day. I'm beginning again, I think for the second time this week with these 3 die. 29, spiritual partnership. Try again, which again can be guidance to try the partnership again, or some sort of partnership again, and weaken away. Spirit says dirty movie, which I've been feeling could be like communication, electronic means, maybe FaceTime, stuff like that, Facebook calls. I don't know what people are into. Online dating and stuff. Also, buy shoes. And try again. Try again. I think we're not meant to give up. And when we finally get it together, it needs to be 50-50. Because this is the same way it turned out the last time. Earlier in the week when I started with try again, it turned out it should be 50-50. Going to the cards, I'm beginning with the moon, which represents the sign of Pisces. Of course, the Gemini new moon will have been just the day prior, so still in that energy. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Opening to the 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful and spiritual and emotional growth. This may be for what you need the walking shoes, or for why you need to buy shoes. 8 of water, and the 8 of air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, being afraid to take action. You're probably being presented with your new life, you know, from the energy of the new moon, and you want to move on, and you're afraid. You feel, oh, I can't, making up excuses as to why you can't move forward with a plan or an idea. 8 of water. And the 5 of fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. I feel this is mostly internal struggle, again, surrounding what I was just talking about. But there may be conflict with other people. If there is, in my opinion, more often than not, when it's the 5 of fire, that conflict is with close friends and or family members. 8 of water back. And it's the 6 of water, memories from your history or childhood. This could be maybe the conflict with like your siblings or something like that too. Issues regarding children. That could be with whom the conflict is, your children, or maybe you're the child and there's a conflict with your parent. Also romanticizing the past. Of course, additionally, and maybe on a more positive note, the 6 of water, also a past life relationship or soulmate sort of card. Soulmate relationship. 8 of water. And the 10 of air, the end of a difficult situation. Amen. Embrace the change and expect things to get better. Somebody may even be recovering from an addiction. Addiction can be substance abuse, of course. That's often the first thing we think of when we say addiction, but it doesn't have to be anything, upon which we are codependent, any person, place, or thing, or that is codependent upon us. That can be the addiction that we need to break. And coming to the 7 of fire, defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. Overall energy is the Emperor, which represents for me the planet Mars. Mars, ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio. That 5 of fire energy can also be attached to the energy of Mars for me quite often, like guiding us to take action. All right, take action. Organization and logic. Structure and discipline, leadership. The Emperor can also be like a representation of us as a parent, particularly a father, right? Particularly a male, or the divine masculine, or maybe it's, something going on with his father, which both of those could perhaps additionally be connected to the 6 of cups that we just saw too. Crowning the masculine, it's the king of fire who's the knight rather, passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. The knight is like Prince Charming. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Like the Emperor, the knight of fire may be an Aries or a Scorpio, or can also be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or anyone like unto these traits or attributes. Again, the knight of fire is Prince Charming to the rescue. Surrounded by the king. I knew I felt the king. This is why I was all tongue-tied. The king of fire is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The king of fire, very much like the emperor, except the emperor is even stronger energy, with this being major arcana and this being minor. As a court card, it can be an actual person in your life. I have to tell you, it's upside down, but when I picked up the emperor, the empress is behind him. So this reading can definitely involve partnership and perhaps something going on with children and or parents. Masculine subconscious, it's a unity with Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Maybe there is something with, for example, if there's a situation with family, maybe a father and son, the king, the father denoting the older one, the knight, maybe somebody in their 30s or something, 20s, 30s. 20s is kind of like pages for me too. It depends, like an adolescent would be a page, to lower would be a page, above adolescent to what we definitely consider full-on adult, and you don't get any more help, be like the knight, and then someone over, like mid-30s and up, king of fire. This could be like somebody's father and them having some sort of situation. The masculine may be dealing with that and sort of trying to figure out with whom he needs to surround himself with going forward, even if they are his family members. Crowning the feminines, the king of air, who's brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. The king of air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Aquarius, currently where Mars is located. So the energy of the king of fire and the king of air intertwined at present. Surrounding the feminine, it's the 9 of fire, which I think was her advice for the day before. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. Feminine surrounded by, in the feminine subconscious rather, the 4 of air. It's time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. I think the masculine had the 4 of air in addition to plenty of other cards that indicated that he needed to make a decision or was awaiting a decision the day before. Crowning the union, the wheel with Archangel Michael, a time of positive change. I think that was the wheel was here the day before, at least as a clarifier. It's a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. It may be Jupiter that propels whatever this situation forward all of a sudden, because the wheel represents the planet Jupiter for me, ruler of the sign of Sagittarius. It's also connected to the energy of the other, or not of the other, of the fixed signs in addition to Sagittarius. The fixed signs would be Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and perhaps we'll see Scorpio show up in a moment. Oh, I guess Scorpio's here already too, in the form of the Emperor. Mars, again, ruler of both Aries and Scorpio. At the root. Balance, speaking of Sagittarius, so now we're like crowned and rooted by the energy of Sagittarius too. Balance is temperance in the traditional tarot. This card also represents the sign of Aquarius for me because there's a water bearer on it that I can't, ignore. The need for balance and moderation. More importantly, it's about, restoration to wholeness and, wherever there was lack, that hole's being filled in. It's 50-50. There's balance again. There's chi. There is feng shui, all of this. There's a need for moderation as well, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So if something doesn't seem to be happening, allow for divine timing, and then it will, right? This energy that's crowning says a situation suddenly moves forward. So we're going to have to be patient, even if it doesn't look like anything's going on, and allow the universe to, help us to help ourselves in some instances. At the heart of the matter, the 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. Well, this looks like a very abundant day. The wheel, which is another 10 here. We got 2 10s. And this fortune that's coming our way. At the heart of the matter, underneath the wheel, the 10 of Earth. So this is feeling comfortable, confident, secure, no worries, sort of thing. And maybe because healing energy has been sent to you by the universe with the energy of balance. Balance, 14 equals 5, sitting here next to another major arcana card of 5, unity, or the high priest or the Hierophant, which this can also denote like unions, people coming together, maybe spiritual partnership. This can, like commitment. It doesn't have to be romantic partnership, but that's absolutely one of the forms in which it could be. But this can be business, especially with all the pentacles and, fortune showing up. It can be business. Somebody can be having some sort of legal matter, a legal settlement with the Hierophant, which is connected to higher institutions and legality and signing papers and stuff. The 10 of Earth, this can be some sort of inheritance or settlement. And the King of Air can easily be a judge, a lawyer or something. So this can be coming into some sort of benefit here. Similarly, if we take some sort of action we can like recoup. I'm feeling like get back some sort of security. But there's a decision involved in that too. In any case, and however you look at it, I can flip them all around. Again, it looks like a very abundant day. Why don't we do a couple of clarifications? Beginning with the feminine's Four of Air. Seven of Fire. So here is where she very easily could have her mind on a decision. It's in this placement of subconscious. And again, the card says it's time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. But this card indicates that she's already made a decision and that she needs to stick by it. So here she may be like going through some sort of mental hockey, and kicking the puck around in her head. Should I have made this decision? Should I have not? Should I change? And the universe saying, stick to what you have chosen and keep powering forward. Don't give up. And the King of Air. Nine of Water. Your wish comes true, concerns fade away, and you have a love of life. For some of us are wishing for communication, and that's what's finally coming. Also, this is an indication of that the communication will be not only what we've been dreaming for, we've been asking for, but it's sort of coming to us in a much softer manner than we may be used to as air signs. And this is connected to Mercury having entered Cancer this week. Water sign, Cancer. Unity for the masculine. It's another Five of Earth. Okay, stick with this Five of Earth masculine. This is a much better Five of Earth. This one is. This one can be about positive things, like even it says so on the card, right? The wisdom to accept help from others. So that can be what this is, connected to the Hierophant. Because again, the Hierophant can be about with whom we surround ourselves. So you're surrounding yourself with people that could maybe mentors, people of your vibration or a higher vibration than your own, from whom you can learn something and who can help you, right? And they can enlighten you and encourage you. If you're worried about lack, that is something, because maybe connected to some sort of legal documents again, there's no need for that worry. And let's use it. Let's use this Five of Earth energy instead of this one in that case. Or in the case of any abundance, not just money, but love too. Like if you're worried about lack, I want you to, take a look at the reading. That's why we do these readings, in advance of the actual energy. So we know how to respond. If you feel this coming on, pick yourself up, pick your confidence back up, because this is what you have to look forward to. Much more positive energy if you do. Did I cover up the feminine's advice card? I think I did. All right. Looks pretty clear to me. What about you guys? Further to this, the masculine major arcana card 20 now, renewal or judgment, which represents the sign of Scorpio as well. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Again, somebody could actually be receiving a legal judgment on this date in their favor, is definitely what I'm seeing. But if it's not a legal judgment, it's still some sort of promotion, whether it's by way of finances, material, love, whatever, all the above, combinations of those. It's promotion, it's elevation, it's raise, it's a bonus as it relates to relationships. Again, we're deciding, where are we and where do we go from here, if anywhere. So in some cases, there'll be a loss, right? We're going to let some people go because our relationship with them lacks. And in other cases, we're going to move forward. And advice to the feminine. It's the Lovers with Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Also good health. And of course, love. This can also be about, love entering your life on this day, and maybe specifically with a Gemini. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reading, and I'll be back with something for Friday. Namaste, angels.